You're listening to the Wilmac Wire, the podcast that's designed to educate you on what's happening in the realm of customer experience and data management technology, specifically coming from the perspective of a growing organization. Thank you for tuning in. Hi all, you're listening to episode 9 of the Wilmac Wire. I'm Emily Miller, tuning in from our Wilmac Technologies headquarters in Rochester, New York. We've got a short but fun episode planned for you today. On June 19th, Wilmac's president and CEO, Stephen McDonnell, was on Rochester news station 13 Wham, where he joined the Geared for Growth segment that's presented by the Greater Rochester Chamber of Commerce. Steve was interviewed by news anchor Dan Schrack about what we do at Wilmac Technologies, including Steve's vision for growth and why we're focusing our growth in Rochester. Beyond that, you can expect me to share a little bit more afterwards about the history of Wilmac to give you context of how we've gotten here today, because I don't think we've done that yet. So we're going to start out with the news clip, though, and you can enjoy it right now.
Time for Geared for Growth every Wednesday on Good Day Rochester, all in partnership with the Greater Rochester Chamber of Commerce. Spotlighting growing businesses, including one in the technical realm today. We welcome Stephen McDonnell, President and CEO of Wilmac Technologies. Thank you so much for waking up and coming in.
Thank you for having me. We
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
So Wilmac has been around for decades now at this point.
Yep.
So I'm sure many members of our community have heard of the company, but they might not know what you guys do inside that big building.
Yes, so we'll give you, I'll give you a quick breakdown, but I will say we have been around for a while. We are trying to come back to our roots in Rochester and make ourselves much more public. We have over 300 customers nationwide, really internationally, and only 5%, under 5% of that is in the Western New York, Rochester region. So we're really trying to put ourselves out there. But we are a technology company, specifically software and managed services. We work in the realm of customer interactions. So think companies' interactions with their customers. So when you call up your credit card, when you call LL Bean, places like that, call centers, our technology is hopefully helping them help you with your interaction.
And as I mentioned during the break, you guys are the ones on the other end of the phone when we hear that, this call may be recorded for quality assurance. That is you guys.
Yes, that is technically, when you break it down, that is what we are doing. We also go into a lot on the back end. So after these calls are recorded, they're being analyzed. Today we're putting AI into it, and we're really trying to make the experience better for the customers. So our software is helping our customers, which are the large companies, big banks, 911 centers, big retail places, are assisting their call centers, in reality, help you guys call in.
We've heard a lot in the past, 2.5 years about artificial intelligence and how it's being implemented. Can you give us an idea of how these companies are using it as it pertains to you?
Yeah, so there's definitely a lot of different use cases. AI is being thrown out there. A simple use case for a large call center would be after you hang up your call, you might chat with someone. You might text. There's different interactions you're having. AI is going to bring that all together, help the company really analyze your customer journey. And then hopefully, they do that with millions of interactions. They can do a better job helping you in their call center, whether that's you calling in or whether that's you chatting on their website or texting. AI should give them a better idea of the overall customer journey, how you interact with these customers.
You said a couple of moments ago that it's right around 5% of the business based here in Western New York. What are you guys doing to broaden that?
Yeah, so I should say customer base. We are employee-wise headquartered in Rochester, but I moved back here 2 years ago to take the realm of Wilmac, and we are really trying to put a focus on Rochester. So we're recruiting. We have great partnerships with RIT, University of Rochester. We're getting out in the community, being involved with charities. Greater Rochester Chamber has been great to us, and we're really trying to get our name out there, talk to the Wegmans, the Constellations, those companies in Rochester to make sure that we're doing business with each other and really assisting the community.
Love it. Well, listen, thank you so much for coming in and for your time this morning. Really appreciate it. If you want to know more about Wilmac and all that they do, you can head over to our website, foxrochester.com, after the show this morning. 8:52, local headlines after America's Steals and Deals.
And I'm back. Big shout out to Steve for doing that segment on the news. I thought it was a really great experience for us to be a part of a segment like that and be able to speak to our growth, and for him to promote that on the local media. So thank you again to the Greater Rochester Chamber of Commerce for welcoming us on that segment, and to 13 WHAM for being so accommodating. So now into the second part of our episode that I referenced when we started, but I don't think many of our supporters and our local listeners fully understand what we do at Wilmac Technologies, and that's completely okay. That's fine. So I thought that the second half would be a really good opportunity for me to build off of what Steve mentioned in the news clip and to explain a little bit further about Wilmac and our evolution as an organization. So Steve did a really great job calling out the fact that the everyday person has definitely interacted with our solutions at some point. So this is one of the most common scenarios I use to put it into plain terms. Your banking or your credit card company, you notice an odd charge. So you make an effort to call their contact center or their call center to resolve your issue. You get on the phone, you hear the automated voice message telling you this call will be recorded for quality assurance purposes. And you navigate through the menu. That could be something called an interactive voice response, where it says press 1 for this, press 2 for that, and you navigate through the menu. Or it could be something a little bit more sophisticated from an intelligent virtual agent that says, how may I help you today? And they use natural language processing to route you to the correct location. So from that, you navigate through the menu, you get to the agent, you interact with the agent. Unfortunately, many people have poor interactions with contact centers, but our technology is working to change that and to make it more sophisticated. Think of our technology too, not just on that front end of answering the call, but also what the agent is visualizing and what they're looking at on their screen as they engage with you. There's customer history that they can see. There's AI, artificially intelligent tools that are popping up and giving them insight into how to navigate the situation. And hopefully they're resolving your issue. So you get to the end of the conversation and you hang up. You're no longer engaging with our technology, obviously. It goes far beyond the end of that phone call, though. So for the banking and credit card example, those types of industries and organizations are expected to retain those calls for a certain number of years, known as a retention period. So our technology goes beyond that. It can analyze that call. If it's analyzing millions of calls, thousands, millions, billions of calls, it can help inform the organization of trend analysis and sentiment analysis and really data analysis, essentially. Beyond that, though, it has to be archived. It has to be kept in a safe place for that allotted retention period. And that is also where our continuity replay cloud solution comes into play. So that whole customer journey, you're interacting with our solutions. And that's not just for banking and credit cards. It can be for a retail company like Target. You're calling into their call center, or you're chatting with an agent online to find a package that you ordered. It could also go into your life insurance, your healthcare. It spans a wide variety of organizations, and we really interact with call centers, 911 centers, trading floors, financial organizations, healthcare organizations, insurance. And our client base is international. So we didn't originally start to what I just described, though. We've evolved to get to this point. So I want to give you now a little bit of a rundown of Wilmac's history. So we were founded in 1957 by William McDonnell, hence the name Wilmac. And originally we started as dictation equipment recording, for lawyers, doctors, that sort of space. If you ever come into our new office space in Rochester in the 5-Star Bank building, you'll find we have old recorders around the office. So, like I said, founded in 1957, dictation equipment recording. In 1987, we were acquired by Steve and Bill McDonnell, and we started to adapt into the workforce optimization industry, and that's also known as WFO. So that kind of started to get us into that call center, 911 center realm. And we began establishing partnerships with industry leaders like NICE and Verint. We became what people call a VAR, a VAR, or a value-added reseller. And our focus was on building a premier service team to support the industry-leading solutions that NICE and Verint, our partners, provided. So we took the approach of being consultative, of being vendor agnostic, being able to customize the solution to the organization itself and provide value-added services to add more value, essentially. So from there, we expanded into Toronto, Ontario in the late 90s, and we also expanded into New York City in 2003. And we still have offices in those locations and still go there pretty regularly to serve our customers, to meet with partners, and the like. So I'm going to skip forward a little bit. Like I said, we expanded into Toronto in the late 90s, New York City in 2003, workforce optimization solutions in 1987, early 90s. In 2015, though, a big milestone occurred. We had built our customer base in the financial compliance and the public safety realms, and our banking and financial customers, they came to us with an issue in accessing their voice data or their call recordings. So I talked before about the archiving of the interactions, the calls, the web chats, the emails, videos, screen recordings, all that sort of stuff. But our financial customers came to us with an issue around their voice data, their call recordings specifically. So for an example, say a regulatory body like the SEC or the DOJ is investigating an organization for insider trading. They had to produce those recordings in an extremely short period of time. And the only option that they had was to go to their vendor, so NICE or Verint or Calabrio, and do a bulk export, which could be very expensive. So on-premises providers, similar to NICE, Verint, whatever, they record interactions in proprietary formats, meaning their customers need to go back to their provider to access their data because that format is specific to the vendor. So with that issue, Continuity Replay was born, extracting, converting, and ingesting those customer interactions into a search and replay portal for easier accessibility. So that's where it was born. Like I said, 2015. We continued to expand as an organization. Public safety, 911 centers specifically, became and still are a very big part of our business, along with trading floors for financial compliance. So from there, we got into the call center realm, or what we call contact center. Not many people know that it's not just calls anymore. It's web chats, it's social media, it's all that good stuff. So we refer to it as a contact center. And Continuity Replay started to take off. We started to actively market it. It became a large source of our growth. And in November 2022, Steve McDonnell Jr. acquired the company, our current president and CEO. And he has a very large emphasis on growing the organization, of not remaining stagnant, but making sure that there is a trajectory for us, a future, a purpose for our organization. So from that, his focus has been in investing in Continuity Replay and the contact center practice groups, and making sure we're building that out and maintaining our status quo as a premier service provider for both the public safety and financial compliance spaces, and not forgetting our roots, but knowing that we have the opportunity to build upward. So from there, we've continued to be a premier service provider and be known for our white glove services as a flexible, nimble, and customer-first organization. In 2023, we actually hired a VP of engineering, Bob Pease. You might have seen him on our podcast already a few times. So go and listen to his episodes. To further build out Continuity Replay Cloud, he hired people. We've been adding people to our departments left and right, which has been really exciting. So now we're here. We've moved to a beautiful new HQ in March of 2024 to accommodate our growth goals. We serve an international client base, but less than 5 of that client base is in Western New York. We're here, we're close, we're in the center of downtown Rochester. And that's why we're making more of an effort to invest in our local community. And that's why Steve being on 13 Wham Rochester news was so exciting. So we're partnered with many local organizations like Greater Rochester Enterprise and the Chamber of Commerce. In actuality, Greater Rochester Enterprise is 9 floors up from us, so I pass them on the elevator all the time. And the Chamber of Commerce I can see from my window. So we're very close to both of those great local organizations and very grateful for that partnership. We also have put a strong emphasis on recruiting from local organizations like the Golisano Institute of Business and Social Entrepreneurship as a new organization, along with universities like Rochester Institute of Technology, University of Rochester, Nazareth, Roberts Wesleyan, Brockport, and St. John Fisher. We also know the importance of investing in our local community and local charities. This upcoming November will be our fourth time participating in the Small Business Council's Thanksgiving Appeal. Our 4th year participating in an annual toy drive for the Pirate Toy Fund. Pencils and paper of Jewish Family Services and collecting school supplies for city-based schools. Benefiting organizations like 1330 Cancer Connect and the Pluta Cancer Center Foundation. We're actively looking for those opportunities to put time and effort back into the community that we've been able to build up. So our roots are in Western New York. We're doing our best to connect with the Wegmans, Constellation Brands, Paychex, 5 Star Bank, ESL Federal Credit Union, Excelis Blue Cross Blue Shield, many, many others. So we want to work together. We want to work with the organizations in Western New York to help benefit one another and grow together. So I've been talking for a while now. As you can tell, I like to talk. I like to talk about Wilmac because I believe very much so in the growth of our company. And if you ever want to learn more about Wilmac, feel free to reach out to me. I'm on LinkedIn. Just search Emily Miller Wilmac. Emily Miller is a pretty common name, so add the Wilmac and you'll definitely find me, I promise. So let's please connect and find ways to work together. Like I said, I think I've talked for long enough at this point, but thank you for tuning in to episode 9 of the Wilmac Wire. Don't miss our upcoming episodes. We've got a lot of great local leaders and upcoming partners, customers, all that fun stuff on the dock. So please also know that episodes 1 through 8 are all available for you to listen to on our website, along with YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. We're promoting these all on social media and all of our respective channels. So thank you again for listening to the Wilmac Wire and for hearing me out as I shared more about Wilmac's history and what we do and who we are. I really appreciate you listening, and have a great rest of your day. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Wilmac Wire. Don't want to miss the next one? Be sure to subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And while you're at it, head over to LinkedIn and follow the Wilmac Technologies page to stay up to date on everything happening here at Wilmac Technologies. And again, thank you for tuning in.